Hi friends! How's it going? Hope you're having a great day so far. So I thought I would start my first video off with a little story about how I went vegan. That's a question that a lot of people have asked me over the years. First of all, if you don't know what veganism really means, or maybe you've seen it on a menu and you're like, oh, that's just one of those like weirdo hippie people. Okay, so veganism is very closely tied to the Buddhist philosophy of doing as little harm as possible to living beings. Basically, anything that has a heart, eyeballs, nervous system to experience pain with, usually vegans strive not to inflict any harm or pain onto those beings, whether they're human or non-human. Obviously, we don't eat people. So, well, not obviously, for most of us, we don't eat people, so it would be your cows, chickens, pigs, fish, mussels, oysters, and bees, frogs, and all that stuff. So basically that's what being vegan means, right? It's not like it's some super crazy alien light sort of way to live. It's just, okay, yo, if I love pets and I love dogs and I love cats and rabbits, and I used to have a rabbit. But meanwhile, if you go to a French restaurant and there's rabbit on the menu, how can I say I love rabbits and then go literally order a rabbit to eat and have that rabbit die, right? So that's basically what veganism is. So how I went and encountered this concept and decided that this was the path for me back in 2014, 2013, I was already not buying red meat like beef or chicken for my own meal prep. So I've been doing like bodybuilding-esque training for many years now, and I would do my own meal prep and make sure I'm getting adequate protein and all my vegetables and fiber and everything. And so for many years I had already not been buying those foods, because even just walking into the grocery store, that section, like the meat section, it just smelled very, very putrid to me. It smelled not good, like not something that I would want to get something to eat from, right? So I had already been not eating meat for a while, except for when I used to go out. And then I made a friend on Facebook back in 2014, and she was the first activist type of person I'd ever met. Her name is Amy Nicole. She's awesome, lives in LA, and she was just speaking out on all the atrocities that animals have to endure just so we can get a meal. And that was my first, I guess, exposure to that sort of thinking and that lifestyle. Now, later on that year, in the summer, I decided to go to an event called Veg Expo. And this is in Vancouver downtown, and it is basically where all vegans and vegetarians, like all these brands, get together and showcase their products, right? And when I was there, I got the chance to meet a girl named Samantha Shorkey. And at that time, she was Vancouver's, I think she was the only vegan bodybuilder around, like the first bodybuilder that went and won. I think she got first in her first show, and it was so mind-blowing to me, because not only is it like, first of all, bodybuilding is not really an easy endeavor, and second of all, to compete, to get on stage and then to win first place while eating only plants is extremely impressive, right? It was impressive to me. So then after that, next year, I met somebody who I would end up dating, and he was essentially my vegan catalyst. So when I met him, we met like at a buddy's birthday at a club, and he was a hardcore activist, like very vocal. And you can hate it or you can love it, right? Most people didn't like it, but what he said, like the way he said it, really, really struck a chord with me. And it was when he added me on Facebook, and his post that I saw, I had asked a question. Can you guess what this question is? This question is, how can you say you're a good person when every meal you contribute to some of the worst suffering in the world? That was the question. And when I saw that question, I had to just face myself and face the hypocrisy that I was living in. I want to be a good person. I always want to be a good person. I always want to do the right thing, and I always try to live my life by principles. So seeing that just stark, black and white, like, okay, if I knowingly still choose to buy these things, indulge in these things, put these things into my mouth, but I know where it comes from, and I know that it comes from slaughterhouses, and I know these creatures undergo immense pain and suffering their entire lives to just become someone's dinner, then how can I, in any good conscience, still continue to live that way? So that was it for me. So that was 2015. And I, from there on in, chose not to eat anything that was from an animal. And honestly, for 3 to 4 months after I decided that day, the word that always came into my head was buoyancy. I felt so buoyant. I felt like, okay, I have consciously decided to do something with my life that positively impacts the planet in some way, whether it's saving a little bit of fresh water, whether it's reducing pain and suffering in sentient creatures, whether it's just trying to reduce the amount of deforestation that occurs as a result of growing crops for all this livestock to be fed. I felt my literal frequency, like, okay, I'm gonna go into a little bit of the hippy dippy stuff, but every living being has an energy field. So if you can believe that premise, like, everyone has an energy field, and it can be very heavy if your usual mode of being is to be very angry, resentful, anxious, worried, just sad, depressed. Those words and those emotions are very heavy. Those frequencies are heavy. And so when you become more uplifted and you feel joy and you feel happiness, like actual happiness, not just pleasure-based feelings of happiness, but actual happiness, just being so connected with the rest of the world and being at peace, you know? And those frequencies, they operate at a much higher bandwidth. So I literally felt my frequency lift up, and I would never trade that for anything, you know? And to this day, it's been over 7 years, and I feel amazing. And I feel like me consciously choosing to make a choice like that really has allowed me to experience so much magic, so many crazy opportunities that I would have never imagined. Once you allow yourself to believe that this world is, one, not a scary place, even though there's a lot of death and destruction and a lot of pain out there, it doesn't have to be a scary place. The world can be your friend, and there's a lot of magic out there that can happen for you as long as you choose to present, to show, and give of yourself in the best way possible, honestly. So I hope that resonates with you. And say if you're not vegan, I know a lot of my friends are not vegan, and I love them all. It doesn't matter to me. But if you are on the fence or you're just kind of curious about it, of course, reach out to me. My Instagram is @meatfreemarialee, and I would love to connect with everybody who is on the journey, curious about the journey, you know, wanting to change up their eating habits like 15%. If all of us can consciously choose, like, okay, you know what, I'm like happy to make some changes, like just some changes. You don't have to go cold turkey overnight, right? It's up to you. Everything is up to you. Everything is up to me, you know, and together we create the world moving forward. So how the future will look for you and for me and for everybody is up to each of us, right? We all have the power to make positive changes. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna do a part 2, and I'm gonna go into exactly what I've experienced physically from this choice. And I'm also gonna talk about why I just don't really care for the word vegan. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I will catch you next time, and live your best life, okay?